Yeah, 8.4 is, and it's a well-studied gene. It's typically in genetic tests, but again, the genetic test will tell you elevated risk of Alzheimer's. And then the belief is, I just have to wait and see if I get it. And that's where things kind of fall apart, where I can't tell you how many people have been referred to us by friends or whatever and say, you know what, I don't want to take a DNA test because I don't want to know if I'm getting Alzheimer's. Because they actually don't have any idea how, and this is not their fault. Our medical system does a really good job of acute care, solving emergencies.
Completely agree.
Yeah, and that
You're
same
top of the line.
amazing, but that same modality toolkit is applied to chronic disease, where you believe it's the same thing. Where wait for the problem and then mask it. So when a typical genetic test tells someone you got an 80% chance of Alzheimer's, which is what somebody would tell you with your genetic test, it's now like, okay, well, that's most likely, I better start planning, because that it's most likely coming. Well, why does the Alzheimer's happen? What does that gene do? What that gene does is lipid transport. So what is happening is there's certain things that can cross the blood-brain barrier. Very few, but certain things, including mutated proteins, frayed amino acids, right? Muscle fiber, that type of thing.
Right.
Which can then, and when they cross the blood-brain barrier, start to interact with healthy tissue, and you all of a sudden get to this sort of state where your brain has been loaded with the wrong stuff, in simple terms,
Right.
and leads to broken neural linkages, etc. So fasting is one simple fix. If you don't have the ammunition in your body, these mutated proteins, frayed amino acids, there's nothing to cause the broken neural linkages, especially with your good BDNF, right? So if you were to fast 2-3 days a week, that would eliminate the ammunition, right?
Right.
If you were to do other things to reduce your toxic load, there's less need for your body to use cholesterol as an anti-inflammatory hormone. So you reduce that ammunition, which is the trigger that leads to the problem. So as opposed to waiting to see, you can now intervene and just prevent it.